Hey guys, welcome back to the St Pölten series, and I'm sorry that there hasn't been an upload in the past week, but I've had a plethora of technical problems from the video files going corrupt, loss of audio, an unexplained loss of audio. I've had about 5 attempts at making this video. It's not going to be the usual review 9 fixtures on the 3D match engine, unfortunately. I did get a little pissed off and decided to play the save up to 18 games. So it'll be a quick review of those fixtures, as well as a bit of transfer business and a bit of strange goings on the financial front to show you as well. So I'm going to show you the table after the first half of the season. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised at how we've progressed this season. There we go. After 18 games, that's half the season, we sit 4th, 1 point ahead of SV Ried, who are going to be our main challengers for that 4th place, which is a Europa League spot. A superior goal difference of +8 to their -5 should help us if things get a bit close. More than happy with the start to the season that we've made. I was really only expecting to be a bit clearer from the relegation zone than we were last season. As you can see, I think the team that are going to be relegated has already been decided. Admira have been piss poor, to be honest, especially when I've played them, so I wouldn't expect them to pull anything out of the hat in the second half of the season. Already cut 12 points adrift with half the season gone. I'm going to try then to go through the fixtures in double time, just so you're caught up with where we're at and how we've been getting on in the games this season. First off, we had an Austrian FA Cup first round tie against a semi-professional team, Village SV, 4-0, Hofbauer, Holzmann, Pinesip, Seppellini. Just showed the golfing class between the two sides, really. No problems there. Kicked off the league campaign with a 2-1 win at Wolfsberger, who were very good last season, so it was a good marker for how we were going to do this season. Dominic Hofbauer and René Felix grabbing the goals for us there. Got a pretty impressive 1-1 draw then against Austria Vienna, Edin Ibrahimovic grabbing our goal. Absolutely smashed Admira out of the park. Holzmann, Brandl and Shibany getting the goals there. Went on a bit of a sticky run thereafter. I decided to play my more attacking tactic against SV Mattersburg, thinking they weren't going to be as much of a threat as they actually were. Alexander Frank got what was, I believe, an equaliser in the 73rd minute before Mattersburg grabbed an instant reply to which we didn't have an answer. We then had to go to Rapid Vienna, who have been storming the league this season, so it was always going to be tough, and we were outplayed in a 2-0 defeat. Then we had SV Ried, who again I underestimated, as I did in the Mattersburg game. The Pinesip goal was a consolation this time. Completely played off the park. Then we got what was actually a vital, just in terms of the morale and trying to build some momentum again after those 3 defeats, a vital 2-0 win against Innsbruck. Pablo Zeppelini and Kobe Arthur grabbing the goals for us. We then went to Salzburg and got a pretty credible result, if I'm honest. Only 2-1. Dominic Hofbauer getting our goal from a free kick, I believe. He's quite good at those. Absolute epic of a game followed against Wolfsberger AC. They take the lead on the hour mark. We grab an instant reply through Alex Frank. Then, on the 83rd minute, Michael Ambichel scores what I thought at the time was a late winner. But Wolfsberger got another instant reply. I saw it coming, to be honest, but I kind of hoped that we'd hold out for the win. Nevertheless, we needn't have worried, as René Felix scored in the 92nd minute to grab 3 points in our quest for 4th. We then had a second round FA Cup tie. Another semi-professional team, I think, ASK Schwadorf. The game was wrapped up pretty early on, I would say. After the 3rd goal, there was never really any going back. René Felix, Gerald Pinesip, Lucas Stankovic, my 17-year-old trequartista in the making, getting an absolute screamer on the 64th, and then delivering a fantastic ball to Dominic Hofbauer to get the 4th goal of the match. Absolute player of the match performance. I'm going to be looking to draft him into the side as soon as possible, I think. We could do with the midfield cover, and he looks like he can change the game. We then hosted Sturm Graz, who obviously, while lagging in 8th or 9th place, still have some quality players, and it would have taken a lot to beat them today. They had an improved performance that belied their position in the league, but we got a 2-2 draw. René Felix, Michael Ambichel with the goals. Another 1-1 draw against Austria Vienna. Ibrahimovic yet again grabbing the goal. We then hosted Admira, who are pretty much second division material already. Smashed them 4-0. Hofbauer, Poinsip, Ibrahimovic, Arthur. Back that up then with a more crucial, really, 1-0 victory against SV Ried. Rene Felix on the 70th minute mark, who had just come on as a substitute, so I'll take the credit for some tactical genius right there. Then a defeat on penalties in the Cup to Austria Vienna. It was pretty annoying because both of the goals in the match were penalties. Made all 3 of my substitutions. We were down to 10 men, so it was just about holding on for penalties in extra time rather than going for the win. And penalties, they're always a lottery. An unfortunate way to go out of the Cup, really, as it's a good route into Europe if we could get into there. I believe St Pölten have actually made it to the Europa League in real life through being runners-up in the Austrian Cup. So they're playing PSV tomorrow. I'm definitely going to be checking that out. They've only got a 1-0 deficit from the first leg, so I'll be cheering on the boys in yellow for that. Then an equally annoying game, really. 2-2 against SV Mattersburg, but they went down to 9 men before half-time. They even took the lead after going down to 9 men. So that just shows you how poor the performance was. Had a massive opportunity to cement 4th place there, and we didn't take it. Then a more impressive 2-2 draw against Rapid Vienna. Ibrahimovic, Cepelini with the goals. Pretty poor performance against Innsbruck, but I think that was my fault, really. Tried to go all out for the win when it wasn't really going to be possible. Edin Ibrahimovic actually got the goal that gave us the lead, but in the second half, Innsbruck were a lot stronger and deserved the win. Then a credible point against Sturm Graz, who are still pretty good despite their league position. Rene Felix on the half-time mark getting the goal there, and a fantastic 3-1 win to end this round of fixtures off against RB Salzburg. They were on a bit of a bad run of form, so I knew they were almost there for the taking, really, and we did manage to do just that. Peter Brandl, Dominic Hofbauer and Michael Ambichel grabbing the goals for us there. Okay, so I'm just going to show you the transfer business and what's been going down there. Going out, only 2 players that you'll actually really recognise. I was in a poor financial position at the start of the season, about 1.5 million in the red, and I did need to sell at least 1 player. In the end, it had to be Yano, just because he's sort of the closest to going past his prime at 28. I managed to squeeze quite a lot more than the 210k value out of him. He wasn't going to get any better, so I thought it was time, especially with the poor financial state of the club sort of pushing me towards the decision. So 210k value, I managed to get 350k for him. That eased the pressure financially a little bit, but not actually that much. Nevertheless, he's been a good servant for the club, and we wish him all the best at Al Rayyan. Strange choice of club. Also sold Halil Ozbay, who you might have recognised as a backup central defender and midfielder. Wasn't really going to get any games. I was hampering his development, really. So I sold him to a Turkish club, Karabükspor, for about 20k. Alright bit of business, really. Just didn't really need him. Coming in, we have Florian Progelhoff, who you'll remember as a backup keeper. He'll do a tidy job, only on £400 a week, so he's the ideal backup, really. I then brought in Andreas Puffingstener. I've probably made a mess of that pronunciation, but nevertheless, backup defender. Pretty poor stats defensively, I'd have to say. 11 tackling, 10 marking, 10 heading, 11 work rate, 13 strength, but he'll do a job if there's ever an injury crisis at the back. So I know he's only on 375 quid a week, so it's an okay signing, not the best. I then got a young striker, Alexander Frank, who's done a pretty good job as an impact substitute. Grabbed a few goals off the bench. He's got the potential to be pretty good at this level too. He's obviously a free transfer, only on 850 quid a week. So that's not a bad bit of business at all. My marquee signing, if you like, Kobe Arthur. 5-star potential. He's providing backup on the wing as well as up front. He's done a very good job when I've needed him to. So obviously, as you've seen in the run of fixtures, he's scored a few goals. So yeah, I've been very impressed with the start he's made at the club, and with that potential to be what would be a star player at Premier Division level. I think his value could rise quite a lot in the future, so I'll certainly be looking to develop him a lot. I'm just going to show you the finances because this is weird. I believe I mentioned earlier on in the episode that we were in a pretty dire situation just a few months ago. quite heavily in debt with a projected balance of pretty much even worse. I've literally just loaded the save and found this. We're 2.5 million just about in the black, with a projected balance of 4.85 million. I've got now a budget of just under 2 million to spend, which obviously will only be spent if I find the right player, but I just have absolutely no idea how this money's actually come about. It baffles me, but you know what, I'm going to take it. I'm going to look to invest some of that money into making the squad a hell of a lot stronger. So that's a huge bonus for this save. I was very worried about the longevity of this save when we were £1.5 million in debt, but as long as I don't go insane with this money and go on a manic spending spree and try and sign Luke Shaw, I should be okay for the foreseeable future, and I should be able to watch this club grow into what's hopefully a dominant force in Austrian football. Don't want to get too carried away. Anyway, that's pretty much all for this episode. I just wanted to pump one out so that I could continue playing the game. The next episode will be a review of the next 9 fixtures as normal. I think I'll have a live com in the middle of that for you guys, because I do love doing live coms. So that's going to be it for this episode, lads. Thanks very much for watching, and I hope you've enjoyed this episode. I will see you after 9 games. Take care, guys. Peace.